Here's a short conceptual video about the sampling distribution. Up top I have a parent population. It's a normal distribution. We see the nice mound shape with a mean equal to 16 and a standard deviation of 5. Here I will take a random sample of 5 observations from my parent distribution. And then I compute the mean of those 5 down below in blue. I'm going to do this again. There's another 5 random samples pulled from that population, and then the mean is computed below. I'm going to keep doing this over and over again. I'm going to do another 5 times. It's just not animated, but here's another 5 times. Keeps track of how many samples I've pulled from my parent distribution. The more sample means we have plotted down here, now we have a mean of those sample means, 7.29, and a standard deviation of 7.45. I'm going to keep taking random samples of 5, and their means, their sample means are computed down below, and we're building a histogram. Watch how these numbers change, the mean and the standard deviation, as I take more and more samples from my parent population. 5 at a time. Now I'm going to take 10,000 samples. I've taken 140,040 samples of 5 from my parent distribution, and I've calculated the sample mean and plotted that below on a histogram. This is what we call the sampling distribution of the sample mean, or the sampling distribution of X bar. X bar has a mean equal to its parent distribution mean, 16, 16. Its standard deviation is not exactly equal to its parent distribution standard deviation, but the parent distribution divided by the square root of n, 2.24. So it has a smaller spread than its parent distribution, and we can see that because it's a narrower mound shape. Since I sampled from a normal parent distribution, my sampling distribution is also normal. It doesn't have to come from a normal distribution. I'm going to change this distribution. Here we see this is a strong left skew parent distribution. The mean has changed, the standard deviation has changed. But watch what happens. I'm going to take 5 random samples from that, calculate the sample mean below. Again, 5 random samples, calculate the sample mean below. Keep doing this 5 times. More and more samples from the parent distribution, 10,000, 100,000. Theoretically, I'm taking an infinite number of samples from my parent distribution. And again, this is the sampling distribution of the mean. The mean, again, has converged to the mean of the parent distribution. And the standard deviation of my sampling distribution, again, is the standard deviation of the parent distribution over the square root of my sample size. The main thing I want to point out, though, is that the distribution of the sample mean has converged to a normal distribution. This has happened by the central limit theorem, CLT, that when we take a sample of a large number, large n, that the distribution converges to a normal distribution. Here my parent distribution was left skewed, but still my sampling distribution converged to a normal distribution because I took many, many samples.